Yep. Nice and easy. We're done with that though. Is it the jump rope? Yeah. Whenever I skip rope, I can't use these wireless headphones. They fall right out of my ears. So of course, it would be helpful if I could get the rope itself not to fall out of my hands. Finish my protein shake and then we'll hit this. New name, who this? Yes, sir. For those of you who don't know me, my name is BullMuscle. For those of you who know me as Beer Battered Ag, yes, I'm going through a rebrand. This seems like a pretty good time to talk about that, so let's go ahead and talk about it. I'm a die-hard Aggie.
The eyes of Texas are upon you. That is the song they sing so well. Sounds like hell! So goodbye to Texas University. We're gonna beat you all to chiggaroo-de-rim, rock tough, real stuff, Texas A&M. Goodbye.
We get a little bit more all. So why can't I click all? Oh, yeah, there it goes. Nice. All right, let's do one more bronze bar. If you adopt the mindset, and this is a quote from Jacob Fisker of Early Retirement Extreme, if you know that guy, 10 points to you. But it's a quote that I find unbelievably poignant in today's era. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. I'm gonna repeat that. Spending money represents a failure to solve one's problems by smarter means. That's painful. But yes, my friends, pure protein, as near as makes no difference, from raw egg whites. It's disgusting. The taste is vile. And good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Let's begin. All right. It is hot and humid, as normal. Today, got ourselves pull day. So we're gonna be doing lats, we're gonna be doing biceps, we're gonna be doing traps. First, you're gonna do some jump rope, and we'll go from there. Let me get the chat window up. There we go. Actually see what's going on. Nice. Morning Phoenix, morning Chair, welcome on in. It's a bit higher. All right, we're ready to jump rope. We'll get to rolling. Nick, good morning. Strong like bull, that's right. Welcome on in, everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on jump rope, and we're gonna hit pull-ups. Hey. Come on, focus. Morning, Big Red, Cleo, and Phoenix. Welcome on in. All right. Oh, you got a meeting? Well, that's fine. Okay. So, what we got on today's agenda? We're gonna hit pull. I already said that. In particular, we do our pull-ups. We're gonna do. Hopefully, we're gonna open the door, use the door frame, and the mosquitoes won't destroy us. I have the distinct feeling that they might, but we'll see how that goes. We're gonna do pull-ups, we're gonna do rows. What I really wanna see today, I'd like to see a few more reps on 175 on It's a question of can I do it with a form I deem acceptable? I've been looking at my lats in the past few days, and I can't tell if it's that I've gotten better at doing pose or what, but it seems to me as though I can see my lats a lot better, you know, behind my pecs than I used to be able to. Right, like you can see them both pretty clearly here, and that would lead me to assume they're at least on the right track in terms of growth, but there's only one way to find out. Rip Tony Bennett, don't know who that is. Solace, good to see you. All right, let me get started on some pull-ups. I would like some music. Do a little High and Dry Saturday Night by Def Leppard. Tony's a well-acclaimed singer from the 50s. That is a touch too loud, I think. Perfect. Yeah, well, if he was a well-acclaimed singer from the 50s, that means, and he passed away in 2023, that means at least he lived a very long, healthy life. Perfect. I'm not a fool. There we go. Here's 23. Hey, good to see you, Gateway in Miami. Welcome back in. You were here yesterday. Saturday night, high. Saturday night, high and dry. All right, so, we'll do 3 more sets of that. We're gonna do some rows today. We'll do lat raises, all sorts of bicep curls, vertical flies. How do I want to do my shrugs? What did I do them last time at? Check this. Let's see, I did them on, okay. Did them with dumbbells last time, so I think I'll do it with the straight bar this time. I could do it with the track bar as well. Sunday baseball, HOF, Falcons in. Hey, Scott Rowland, all right. That's not bad. All right. So our first set, we got 23. Let's try and get another set here. more sets of that. Rivets on this is coming loose. Hang on a second. Screws. Tighten this up a bit. My vice grips. Hey, Bradley Cockle, welcome. Hey, I don't believe I've seen you in here before. It says you got a first time chat, so welcome on in. Happy to see you. We'll just tighten this up because it's a bit loose. There we go. Much better. Just hit this all back down. It's starting to come, it just come loose over, you know, months and months of usage. There we go. Do the other side. There we go. It's nice and tight. Guitar, drums, load up, go! That's much better. Lazy, Major Tom. We just got to fly. All right. 2 more sets. Harris, the Newcomb's owner, is a lot. He's gonna have to sift through. Well, Big Red, were you here when I was talking about that yesterday at the beginning of my stream? I had a big old diatribe about that. I could repeat what I said, but I don't know if my audience wants that. There we go. Come. All right, 16, 56 down. I think I'm gonna switch to the bar in here. I feel bugs starting to attack me. Gonna move you guys over here. What to do, Severus? Good to see ya. Yeah. Oh, dude. So, right, the peak of that franchise is the early 90s. Rather ironic that the team that's now called the Commies peaked in 1991, but here we are. By the way, I played around with the guys hear any difference? I'd like to know. Be that better or worse. I threw in a filter, so hopefully it means when I'm a little bit louder, it doesn't come on and it's like it's over-modulated, like it's a peaking mic. All right. Here, let's sit here. Come on. You're done, what, 56 so far, so I'd like to get at least 14 here. Hey, the Blocksmaster, thanks for the follow, man. Appreciate it. That grip sucks. The volume max and everything, and I can hear you, but it seems lower than in past sessions. All right, let me turn it up a touch then. Just a bit. How's that? Through just a touch higher. Don't want to go overcorrecting. That wouldn't be ideal. All right. So that was the fourth set. We're doing pull-ups and chins. Throw on. Your goal here is going to be hit 175. I'd like to get 10 decent quality reps here. So that is, you know, more or less bringing it all the way up to, if not touching, but very close to my rib cage. Really feeling that squeeze and bringing it back down. And not using my lower back too much at the beginning. That's sort of like kidding. You know, pull up. We don't want that. First one to be eaten in event of a plane crash, bro. That is one of the strangest compliments I think I've ever been paid. Morning, Dalty. I don't think I've ever been paid that as a compliment before. That's quite bizarre. I mean, thank you, I guess. So, we're gonna hit these rows. You know, what I'm really looking for is I want that squeeze, I want that form. All right, let me prep myself mentally for this. We're gonna hit it. You got this. You got this. Let's go. Let's go. Recently watched Lord of the Flies. This is what I get. Okay then. That is, again, one of the more bizarre compliments I think I've ever been paid. I think I'm going to use the belt for this. And the goal today is to really get that squeeze. I want 10 good reps so badly here. Rows just are not, for whatever reason, they are not my strongest exercise. And like you can see, it's right, you know, I can reliably bench sets of 10 at 250, good days 265 or even 275, and I struggle to get rows at 175. Just fucking do it. There we go. Better, but still shit. Oh, God. Just not making the progress I really want to here. Pissing me off. I want to go heavier. The desire is there, and it's just my body is not. The form isn't. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing wrong here. I don't know why my lats do not appear to be getting much stronger on this exercise. What the fuck it is. Oh, it's got me pissed. Form's crap. Wasn't going all the way up. Do not have the strength to do that yet. I don't know why. Ugh. Do you stretch prior to working out? Not really, not anymore. Hey, Celty, good to see you, man. Always appreciate you popping in here. For those of you who like more of the HIIT stuff, go give Celty a check out. I give him a shout out here. Hey, Justin Justin Kanakasik. Thank you very much. That is a name right there. Let's see, shout out. Give Celty a shout out here. Ran, it was gold. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like the more high intensity type stuff, especially like boxing workouts, HIIT training. I don't know if he officially does like CrossFit workouts, but that sort of thing. I would recommend giving Celsi a shot, or a look-see. I think you'll like his content. I certainly do. So we're going down, this is 155. I'd rather do a set of 10 at 155 with better form. Pisses me off that my weight, or that my numbers just aren't getting any higher here. I mean, I'm seeing better definition in the lats. Like I'm seeing them, they look bigger now than they used to, but the strength just isn't there yet, and it's annoying. There's just not much I can do about that. Except for train harder, I guess. A couple old concerts, thank God it was one of the last few trailblazers we have left. GGR TV, I haven't seen you in here in a while. Good to see you as always. Howdy. Yeah, the 96. Well, there's two ways to look at that. You can be sad that he passed, and that's fair. But you can also be very happy that from all accounts it seems like he lived a long, productive, and fulfilling life. Choice is yours. All right. Do underhand for this one. Get pissed off. Come on. Strong like bull. I like it. It's better for it, but still not good. Oh, my knee will bend a bit too much on the last couple. We're gonna stick to this. Strong like bull, graceful like elk. Ouch. Les Esper. Welcome. Lee Strong as always. I appreciate that, GGR. Always good to see you, man. Watching the shadows. Well, that's good to know. I know there's a fair amount of lurkers in here, but it's always good to hear from y'all every now and then. Makes me feel a little bit less like I'm talking to nobody. Last Esper, what do I do for warm-ups and cool-downs? So, it's pretty hot in here already, so I don't need to go crazy with warming up. Usually, what you guys see on stream, abs, push-ups, handstand push-ups, stretching, that's usually my cool-down. I'll do something similar to that when I'm not on the air. As for warming up, I'll do, again, like a little bit of jump rope, but there's not a ton of need. It's already pretty warm in here, so my muscles heat up pretty quickly. My muscles kind of get primed pretty fast. I would usually warm up with like a lot more jump rope, maybe a little shadow boxing, a little high knees, stuff like that in the wintertime, but in the summer, it's not necessary. At least I don't think it is. Your mileage may vary. Good question though. Thanks for the first time chat. The last Esper. Let a breacher. No, Big Red says I read a Bleacher Report article saying Shohei Ohtani to the Reds. Based on what we know about the Reds' ownership, do you really think they'd pay for that? Dream on. Yeah, I think that's Big Red. I think you've fallen for some clickbait there. I do not think the Cincinnati Reds are actually going to make a play for Shohei Ohtani. Don't be ridiculous. All right, third set of rows. My phone is frozen. Awesome. Oh, yeah, it's frozen. All right, well, it's fine. Back at plan. There we go. Ooh, I made it. Pretty sure you just got me 6 and have a lovely first week back in the gym. Ouch. Take it easy. Don't overdo it. It's getting pretty warm in here. I'm gonna take my watch off. I'm gonna keep an eye on the temp. I don't want to overheat. And it's getting to the point here where, this is why I started doing rest days on Thursday, because doing this kind of a workout at 5 in the afternoon when it's even hotter and almost as humid, it's just hard to a point where I'm not getting the kind of workout I want to, and I'm only tiring myself out for the following days. So I try not to. I think the Thursday afternoon workouts will make a return, but it's going to be probably October before I look into doing it. It's just too fucking hot. It's not worth it. Trying not to get too dizzy. This is just the hard part. There's nothing I can really do but keep the pace down. In the mud pit of the NL. Dude, the NL is insane right now. Both Central divisions suck major ass. Cincinnati could make it, but do you really see yourself beating Atlanta? Do you really see yourself beating whoever's leading the West at this point? And if you're going to go all the way, do you really see yourself beating all the titans of the American League? I don't. Cincinnati? No. I mean, crazier things have happened. I mean, my Nationals won it all in 2019 as a wild card, but even then, I don't think Cincinnati is even at that level. Yeah, if you're struggling, you're struggling right around 500 in one of the weakest divisions in baseball. I'm not sure it's a great idea. All right. Come on. think I'll probably do some wide rows as well. All right, here we go. Four, one. Come on, 2 more. There you go, down weight. By the way, my weight went up a fair amount this week, which is strange. Really, when I say this week, I think like the last day or two. I was floating around 208, 209 all week. Ended up taking 2 giant dumps this morning. I'm still at 213. So I don't know what the hell's going on there. I don't see any visceral fat gain. And the body fat reader said it was down. So based on that, don't look like I've gained muscle either. Howdy, Allie. Wanna watch your fire? Good to see you as always. Welcome in, y'all. So we're gonna do Hertz next. We'll do some wide grip rows, and then we'll move into the rest of the workout. So this way, I don't feel as though a belt is necessary, so we'll take it off. So these work your traps, the upper muscles here above your shoulders. You come up, you come back down. Not bad. Hey, Clips Lock. Thank you very much for the follow. Yelly Bagel, what happened? You lost boyfriend? Nah, I'm still single, just like I was last week and the week before. Just went for a run here in the middle of front of my calves. Feels at least pretty bad. Did some stretches, but still feel it. Kind of just embracing the pain. Oh, what happened to I lost body fat? I don't know. That's the thing. So my weight went up this week. The scale said my body fat went down, and I don't quite understand why. I didn't hydrate any more than normal. I don't feel like, compared to last week, I'm any noticeably more defined. Maybe I'll give myself a measurement when we get back in, see if maybe there's a clue to be found in that. I'm gonna write that on the side. That'll be something we'll do afterwards. There we go. It could be so many things. Am I just maintaining more or less? The goal was originally to kind of trim down towards like the 205 level. Basically a really, really slight cut. Obviously, I've been overeating a bit too much. That's the only reason I could have gained that much weight in one time. Again, it's not all muscle, I can guarantee that. It's gotta be some combination of water, fat, and something else. I don't know what, but something else. So was it retaining water and blow up during a certain time of the month? Oh, for sure, for sure. Now, Dodge has dealt with that. It definitely makes life more difficult. The diet side of it's the hard part, really. Getting in here and slaving away, even though it's hot and humid, this is something I enjoy. It is fun to challenge myself, to piss myself off, you know, psych myself up and try and hit these weights as hard as I can, but guys, for me, it's the demon hour. Between 8:30 and 9:30, there's this hunger demon that just makes me want to eat everything. All right, let's hit this. Here we go. All right, so this is gonna be a wide red row. Set it down first. There we go. So it's the same concept. Really just try to picture your hands as cups. You don't want to keep your grip too tight. You just want to hold on to it. And really focus on squeezing those lats, bringing them back. 2, 3. There we go. It's a mind game. Using weights are fun as hell. Absolutely. Yeah, any idea about the leg thing? Let me explain that one to you. So I've had the middle chunk of my calves, it's up in knots. Here, turn the camera down so you guys can see it better. The middle of my calf here just is like in knots after a lot of cardio or ultimate frisbee. So here's what I recommend. All right. So I recommend keep both feet sort of back. There we go. Let me move this out of the way so you guys can see it. So you want to keep both feet sort of planted like this, right? And slowly you want to slowly start with feet planted, bring your right heel, keep it on the ground, bring your right toes up, come in like this and bend your back leg. The other way, right, so sort of bend your front leg, try to keep your heels on the ground. And then this will work out your back calf, right? And switch legs. All right, so there we go. Left heel down, toes up, bend the back leg, forward the back leg, keep the heel planted. You'll really feel it here. This is where I feel it. So this hits both your calves pretty well. I recommend that if you're looking for a decent calf stretch. I hope that helps. Another one you can do if you're just sitting that I like is, this also helps with shin splints. Like let's just say you're sitting here. I do this sometimes while I'm going out to ultimate frisbee, while I'm driving along. I'll put it in cruise control and I'll do, I'll just hold it. Like what I'll do is I'll take, right, so my feet are just down. I'll extend them and then, right, I'll take my toes, bring them up on one end, and just try and extend my leg all the way. And then come down like I'm basically I'm flexing and bringing it back and flexing and bringing it back. You can do that just going along sitting, or if you're doing something else, you just hold it for a 5 to a 10 count, however long you fancy really. Do the same to the other leg. I think you'll notice a difference. When it walks through fire, hopefully that helps. All right? I'm gonna hit another set. There we go. Ah, come on. There we go. 2, 3, 4. All right. So we'll hit one more set on rows, one more set on vert flies, and then we'll start doing shrugs and curls. Seems like he's doing something. Is it pain? Is he going to stretch? Yeah, no problem, man. I've had my calves lock up before playing ultimate. A lot of that, sprint, slow down, right? If you think about what that's doing to your ankles and your calves, right? Your calves are kind of bidirectional muscles, or unidirectional muscles, excuse me. Like they compress and they extend. There's not much else your calves do. So there's a limited range of motion and it's more or less all in the vertical. So you stretch out that vertical range of motion, you're gonna help your calves. I'm like saying this in the worst possible way, like I'm not explaining it very well, but hopefully that helps. In my defense, it's hot as shit in here. You gotta notice that too. I'm not as coherent in the heat. All right. Let's hit full Bachman Turner overdrive. Yeah. Little flat broke love. How about that? That bass line, you know what I'm talking about. Boom, boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, ba-dum. Talking about a great Canadian band right there. Here we go. That was the last set of rows. Let's do it. Did you try any of the music I've shared? You know what? It's not on my to-do list. I should do that a little while. I started to crave running for about a bit over a week, constant cardio. Still want to go for another run later. I've never felt like that. I will run, but I don't enjoy it. Like it's something I tolerate. The runner's high definitely helps. So you get around for me it's like the 2-3 mile point. But it's also, again, it's the heat. It's a lot more enjoyable to run in 50-degree weather than in 90-degree weather. Unless you're a fucking psychopath. And yeah, I'll do it. But it's just not as enjoyable. Alright. So one more set of vert flies. We'll move on to shrugs. We'll do some hammer curls as well. There we go. Not bad. Get You're 235. Go. There we go. 2, 3. Slightly off center. Appreciate the heads up. Remove the camera up here. There we go. If you can't post, feel free to send it my way. Hang on. No, next to the last argument, I've seen the post. What kind of music do I like, by the way? Usually hard rock, early heavy metal, usually from the 70s or the 80s. Sometimes a little hardcore rap. Well, not hardcore rap, just good, solid, angry rap in general. Or Spencer0400, thank you very much for the follow, I appreciate it. Right now I'm doing Bachman Turner Overdrive as an example. Metallica, Megadeth, Motley Crue, Motorhead, you name it. Well, let me post it behind a Kilker political cartoon, the writers and actors strike. Dude, honestly, I support the strikers, but don't care enough to like actually donate money, frankly. A lot of these writers and actors are the same ones that told a lot of the industrial workers over the years, oh, just learn to code. The shoe's on the other foot now, fellas. Yeah, I need to listen to some of that music you sent me, Ali. It's on the to-do list, I promise. There's the last rep. All right, so we're gonna hit hammer curls here, I think. All right, yeah, we're gonna hit hammer curls, and and shrugs. Little space. Every day. Woo! All right. Really get that pump, get that bicep curl going. Am I too tall? No, it's perfect. Well, I see we've got over 30 people, so y'all have our handstand push-ups. Thank you. If we hit 50, let me know, and I'll do extra jump ropes. Or I'll do a stretching routine, depends on when we hit it. I'm gonna do the stretching routine anyway, I need to. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. First time chat. Spencer, that's spam. Ban this guy. Nope. Yeah, that's spam. He's advertising for psychedelics, which one is illegal and 2 is not appreciated on my screen. Get the fuck out. No. Look. If you want to talk about your product on my stream, that's one thing. You just fucking spam a bunch of links, get the fuck out. I don't have any appreciation for that, nor does my audience. Again, I'm very friendly and I'm very lenient towards most people and things, but don't come onto my stream and shill your own crap. That's bullshit. He's already gone. I did that one myself. Here we go. Let's go with yeah, that'll work. See the temp is in here. 86, again, kind of realized. I want to watch your fire, study a bitch capital workout, man. I appreciate you coming in and talking. I hope that calf stretch helps out while you're studying. Just, every hour or so, maybe do a little bit of that, a couple minutes. Should make a world of difference. It does when I do it, so hopefully that helps you. 2, 3, 4. God, I'm losing my grip. Fuck. That's the challenge with heavier shrugs. Mid-workout, you're already starting to lose your grip. Like I feel my fingertips are all white. It's starting to slip. I may do an oppo grip next set.
scratches and scrapes on these dumbbells. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of maintenance on these, I think, today. It's nothing major, but I want these to last for a long time. Here we go, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, go.
Come on. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to keep my grip tighter on those hammer curls. And I'm noticing the effect, there's a knock-on effect on trying to grip these, the straight bar. It's making my grip weaker. When do you work the glutes on leg day? This is pull day. Many, many tacos. If that's what you're looking for, come back tomorrow. I will be live at leg day tomorrow at 9 a.m. We're gonna hit squats probably pretty hard, so. Right? That kind of thing. Hey, Bowser, good to see you as always. It's a little inhaling. Come on. All right, for this one, we're doing oppo grip because, so what's happening is my grip is starting to weaken. I've done a fair amount of sets at this point, and as important as grip strength is, you know, you don't want to be focusing on it to the point where you're not able to hit your other muscles the way you want to. So we're going to compensate with an oppo grip here, or we're still going to do shrugs. So you see, right hand is pronated, left hand is supinated, and that should help. Still slipping. There's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. You get to that point to work out. Sweat probably don't help either. All right. We're gonna hit lat raises, just ease them less. Keep hitting that real nice and hard. Hey, Maddie, good to see you as always. If you count on you to do the CFP. I went to Northwestern. I ain't touching that one with a 10-foot pole, man. Northwestern's got some problems. And unlike Vanderbilt, they don't have any good other athletic programs to point to. Like Vanderbilt's got baseball. What's Northwestern got? I mean, they're a fine academic school, but like for sports, it seems like they're the odd man out. There's no Northwestern powerhouse whatever team. All right, so we're gonna hit gonna hit some lat raises here. Come on. It's not bad. Oh, okay, some dizziness. Gotta take a minute. Hey, Zone, good to see you. Been working 9 to 5. No, dude, hey, you ate that bread, man. I understand. Totally get it. CAA, New Coastal Athletic Conference. Didn't it used to be the Colonial? What did it used to be? Yeah, I gotta maintain some of my weights today. I start to see spots of rust. And that makes sense. It's very humid here. We're not able to see because I sweat so much because of the heat humidity. You know, little bits of sweat start causing bits of rust here and there, and that's not ideal. So we'll probably do a little maintenance work. Let's do some reverse curls. Do these at 85. There we go. Hey, who we got here? We got 100 bits from Zone. I appreciate that, man. Strong like bull. Yes, sir. And we got 44 viewers. Let me know if we hit 50, y'all. It is. Not getting any cooler in here. That's for sure. Check the temp one more time. Yeah, it's holding steady at about 86 right now. That's 30C. I mean, you can see the amount of sweat on me. All right, you can see sort of, especially in the light, it's kind of glistening up there. Get back to work, have a great workout. I appreciate the bits. Thank you very much, Tom. Always good to see you in here. Keep kicking ass, make good decisions. All right, so we're gonna do reverse curls for this, so it's a forehand grip, come up and down and up and down, work the biceps accordingly. Oh, that fan feels nice. Here we go. Hey, you got to breathe. There we go. Come on. Swallow. Hey. All right, we're gonna do next set of lat raises. Make sure when I'm doing these. Okay, you can't see my back. That's the whole point. We're trying to show off them back muscles. Ben, good to see you. You gotta head to work. All right, man. You have a good one. By the way, y'all, for what it's worth, today is Financial Fitness Friday, so we'll be talking about the journey to financial independence, stocks, investments, savings, and all that good stuff at the end of the workout. You'll have also earned handstand push-ups already, and if we hit 50 viewers, we'll hit depending on when, either more jump rope or stretch routine inside. It's getting very warm in here. Come on. Here we go. Holy shit, lightheaded. All right, so do another set of forehand, reverse curls, another set of lat raises as well. That put us at, so we got 6 traps done. Back, that'll give us 2, 6, 8, 11, 6 on bicep. Okay, so that's 6, 12, 23. All right, we're moving. We're doing good. We're doing good. How bad do you want it? Come on, Bull, how bad do you fucking want it? Strong like Bull. Here we go. There we go. Come on. All right, that's good. You know what? I might do underhand curls with the straight bar today. I haven't done that in a while. Acting like a robot. Its metal brain corrodes. You try to take its part. All right, here we go. Perfect. Natty music, I appreciate that, you know. It helps, just trying to stay in the zone. Very easy to kind of get sucked out of it. In this heat, I have to focus. Okay. Yeah. Let me make sure I got that right. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, 2 to 1. Yeah. All right. We got one set of delts and 2 sets of single arm row. We'll also do curls. Come on. Focus. Good form. Come on. Focus. That's pretty decent. Let's stay at that. Ooh. We go. Power Slave by Iron Maiden. So for this, these are for your delts. The idea here is quite simple. Y'all kind of be able to see it here. There we go. So I learned these from someone on stream a week or two ago, and I started doing them. I kind of dig them. The idea here is much in the same way that, right, with this, you're working your lats. With this, you're working your delts. So that's what we're going to do here. It's not heavy weight. It's not meant to be. We're going to go with it. Oh, it's a big pop. Let's see, so how many sets have we got left at this point? We've done 6 sets of traps, 7 sets of biceps, that's 13, 12 sets of backs, that's 25. We got 5 sets to go. I think we'll hit incline curl sets today. Come on, power. Power. Strong like bull. Come on. Roll the barbell. There we go. Hey, Tall O, welcome to the bullpen. Thanks for the first time chat. You are live in the bullpen. Appreciate you coming in with the first time chat. It's always good to have new visitors. Makes me feel good, makes me feel like we're reaching a new audience. Those follower numbers are really what I'm after. I don't care about subscriptions. I don't do this for the money. I do this because it's fun and I like motivating people and I like helping people. And you know, I hope that comes through. If you want proof of that, look at how uncommon the ads are in my stream. And I'm not, you know, other Twitch streamers can get their bread. I don't run my channel for that purpose. I run the minimum Twitch allows me to. Yeah. Like I don't like ad breaks. I feel like they upset the natural flow of the workout and the natural flow of the stream, so I try my best to keep them off. Okay. Let's hit cemetery gates. Strong like bull, that's right. That's right. Sweaty like pig though. I'm gonna have to put on the towel here, just so my back doesn't squeak and slide around the seat while I'm doing these. There was really nothing I could do about that. I'm just, it's hot. Hey, how am I doing today? Not bad. It's hot, humid in here. We're nearing the end of our pole workout, so that's sort of how it's going. Let's do this.
this. Let's hit this. I'm waiting for the guitar solo to really start dropping for this. This is Cemetery Gates by Pantera. Here it comes. Strong like ball. Not bad. Pantera, it's different sometimes. Just got back from the gym as well. Kick ass. Always good to hear people hitting the gym, making progress, making strides themselves. Come on, burn it out. Well, I guess you took my youth and gave it all away. Come on. Come on. Oh, that's all I got. That's a shitty last rep too. I'm not counting it, that's only 9. I might do a burnout. That wasn't great. Day 8 on my cut. Chicken Man, good to see you already lost over a pound. Hey, that's a decent start, man. Are you tracking your calories, your macros? That's the key, man. So now, we switch to what did we do last time on single arm rows? I need to go look. All right, so we did sets of 15 at 70. I like that. With single arm rows, I like the idea of higher reps, a little bit less weight, really squeezing it. So I'm gonna try for, I think, 18 here. We'll see how it goes. $50, $60, $70. I can never tell what angle to do these at. I think the answer's kind of at a side, over angle, sort of like this, right? So we'll see. We'll see. Today's a high carb day, which I love. Oh yeah. Run on your 187. Your goal is 150. That's a huge cut, man. So the fastest weight you can really sustainably lose is 1% of your body mass. And I don't know how tall you are, but if you're at 187 and you're trying to cut to 150, that is, you know, you're gonna be looking at 1 to 1.5 pounds a week long term is gonna be what you can max sustainably, and that's if you're hitting it perfect every single day. Well, if you are, you're a lot better than me, but that's gonna be 20 to 25, like that's 6 months of cutting, realistically. 15 pounds in 3 months. I mean, that is, again, more power to you. But, you know, 500 calories, right? That's about 1 pound of body fat a week. If you're looking to lose 37.5 pounds, I mean, that's going to take you some time. Just be aware of that. If you're going to make a cut that long, I've done it. It's not, you're by month 3, month 4, you're really going to hate it. So I would recommend maybe every 6 weeks, take a week at maintenance, let your body adjust. It'll make it a lot more tolerable. You're going to find that, at least this is what I found, is that after a certain point in cutting, you start to lose energy, you start to lose drive, you don't quite feel yourself. Lose about 8 pounds a month. Oh, you're doing better than me. Shit. 8 pounds a month is fast if you're under 200 pounds. Credit where it's due then. Good for you. Someone's water weight. That's true. Was 35 pounds in 6 months. That is, again, that's really impressive. That's, generally speaking, you know, my rule of thumb is 1% body fat a week, or not body fat, sorry, 1% body mass a week. If you're going faster than that, it sounds like you know what you're doing. You've done it before, so I'm not going to question you. It sounds like, again, you know what you're doing, but that is unusually rapid pace. So kudos to you if you're able to pull it off without losing too much muscle mass. You must have really good macros, I'll put it that way. I personally, if you are new to a cut cycle, I would not recommend going that aggressively. But Jig, it sounds like you know what you're doing. So if you're 5'8", yeah, 5'8", 187, and you're looking to go to 150, that makes sense. My body did it. Well, that's fair. Yeah. What are your macro targets? Like how many calories, how much protein? Out of curiosity. That's because that is very good. I worked with a certified professional. That makes sense. No, that's, I mean, again, that's really impressive. I take it from someone who's done his fair share of cutting. That's good. That's really good. My body weight went up quite a bit this week. Weighed in at 207.6 last week, and now I'm at this is after taking 2 fairly massive bowel movements, so like 213.5, which I don't quite understand because I haven't eaten that badly. I've eaten heavier this week, maybe average slightly above maintenance, but not enough to gain 6 pounds worth of weight. That's a bit crazy. 2,000 calories on low carb day, 2,300 on high carb day. Interesting. So you're burning about 2,500 a day then? Okay, see, my cut target's usually 2,300, and then my maintenance is closer to 3,000. But it makes sense, right? I'm 6'3" and 210 or thereabouts. And now it's 213, but I'm a bigger guy, so I'm going to use more energy. Okay. Enough dawdling. We've got 2 more sets on back with these single arm rows. I think I'm going to do a burnout set on biceps, and I might do a burnout set on rows too. Just really fucking hit it. 100 grams carbs, 150 grams protein, 111 grams fat, 299 carbs, 150 grams protein, 66 grams carb. Burn about 2,600 calories a day. That's pretty good then. No, it seems like you've got a really, those numbers make a ton of sense actually. For a guy your size, your weight, and your activity level, dude, it sounds like you're killing it. That's awesome. Here we go. I'm losing a half a week. This is my workout. Dude, that's great too. Carbs are the body's main energy source, so low carb days make body seek fat for energy. Ultimately, your body is pretty good about burning carbs. They burn carbs when they're there and burns fat when it's not there. In general, as long as you're running a calorie deficit, your body has to look to burn something before it will burn muscle. So whether that's glycogen or excess fat, you run a deficit for long enough, it'll do both. Like it won't do both simultaneously, it'll always burn the glycogen off first, but if you're running a calorie deficit, you will run out of glycogen. This is a thermodynamics equation. As long as you're eating enough protein to sustain your muscle mass, your body is going to continue to look for other sources of energy, then that'll be body fat. You respond really well to carb cycling for some reason. Well, awesome, man. Terrific. That's the thing. If you find something works for you, fucking stick to it. There is no one holy way truly to diet. It is all up to you. It is really all what you like. That's why, people will ask me, I'm gonna take a moment to explain this. I don't care if it takes a little time. This is important. People ask me, hey, do you recommend keto? And my answer is, if you find that keto allows you to run more consistent calorie deficits to cut, have at it. I personally would never do keto, as an example, because I like carbs, and carbs are inexpensive. Running a keto diet is expensive. You're simply, right, it's a simple question of economics, right? It's a lot easier to grow 1,000 calories worth of wheat, beans, rice, or soy than it is to grow 1,000 calories of animal fat or protein, right? Protein is non-negotiable, you gotta have that. But fat versus carbs, if you have more of one, just make sure to have less of the other and you'll be okay. But that's why, the people who swear by keto, it works for some people really well. But I would not do it because it's expensive. That's my major issue with keto and paleo and a lot of the other really low carb diets in general, just because carbs are cheap. Not bad, man. Eternal Gambler, welcome on in. But yeah, carb cycling, if you find that carb cycling works for you, more power to you. I don't really monitor fat versus carbs. I write them down, I write what I have, but as long as my calories are right, my protein is right, I don't really give a shit what fat and carbs are. Now I have found that on the days where I hit my protein numbers and my calorie numbers, I tend to eat less fat because I think it's the same thing. I naturally don't stock up on very fatty foods because a lot of very fatty foods are also more expensive than high carb foods. Hey, John D, it's good to see you. Your book has a lot in it. What do you normally write? Am I on steroids? No, I am not on steroids because not only do I not want to be, but I would get fired from my day job if I were on steroids. I get tested for drugs. I'm a nuclear worker. So, no, I'm not on steroids. This is Natty, and if you'd like to learn how to look like this, I can tell you. It takes a lot of hard work, but it can be done. All right, last set on single arm rows. Let's fucking hit this. But yeah, no, I am not on steroids. Again, I've been offered actually by friends to go on the cycle. And you will gain, if you're working out and eating right, you will gain way more muscle mass on steroids. There's no debate about that. But as a function of my job, I can't. I also cannot even have any cannabis product, including CBD, even though CBD is legal. The nuclear industry is trapped in the 1980s, and it shows. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I cheat on those last few. That's not good. John, dude, it's good to see. How many kilos is there? This all done, I lost about 50 pounds. Dude, that's amazing. Good for you. Yes, sorry. I'm trying to keep on the chat. This is hard, y'all. I write everything that goes in my mouth goes in the journal. My reps, my sets, what exercises I'm doing goes in the journal. To-do list goes in the journal. And my, ooh, dizzy. Sorry about that. Sometimes I'll write little day-to-day entries. And I find it's a good way to kind of write almost as a diary type thing. All right. So we're gonna pump it for volume here. The form may not be picture perfect on every rep, that's not the point here. Shoot, I'm really running out of power. I'm gonna do my burnout set on rows later. We gotta get back inside. Come on. Come on. Don't quit. Strong leg pull, come on. Come on. All right, we're done. Okay, start to act up a bit. We need to go inside and laptop's almost out of juice. We'll handle the rest of this later. I'll hit a row set in a little while. All right, so y'all have earned handstand push-ups, so we'll go do that. But first, I'm gonna plug the laptop in. Running out of battery power, and that's not good. There we go. Okay, crisis averted. Whew. It's a good workout. Wasn't bad. I'm a little bit unhappy with how the rows were. I don't feel like the number was quite what I was looking for, which kind of sucks. Rotate it a bit. There we go. I think I'm washing out a little bit, so I turn the light on, down. There we go. That's better. All right.
Yeah, I actually wanted to do a burnout set on rows there as well, bent over rows. I was gonna put maybe 85 pounds on the bar and go rowing like that. Did you meet any hunky guys in Florida? I haven't been to Florida since last year. That was like October of 2022. I went to Orlando, so no, I met a bunch of fags. No, all the hot guys in Florida are down at Miami Beach. And I've never been to South Florida in general. Just sweep this off a bit. We'll do handstand push-ups in just a moment here, y'all. I just gotta get all the detritus off of my mat here. That's much better. Get yourself a basic old-fashioned push broom. That's for some of the most useful things. Yeah, I've never been to Miami. Did you say you were gonna be around hotter people? No, not that trip. Unfortunately, I have said I'd like to go down to Miami, but I've never actually done it, unfortunately. You know what, while I'm here, I'm gonna get my headphones back out. I'm gonna listen into the stream. I'm gonna see if I can't adjust my volume on the fly to make it a little bit better. So I feel like I've been get a robot vacuum? Nah, why'd I do that? I grew into Miami. I guess I could. I don't know. I don't see the need to do that. So let's see here. We'll get to my channel. Or actually, this is gonna be, there's a lot of dom tops in Miami. That's as may be. I don't know the answer to that. Hang on. See what it does. There we go. Connect it back on. And anyways, you have to constantly clean it, especially the wheels. Yeah, see a push broom, right? This cost me $10 and it works just fine. There's no reason to upgrade on that one, I don't think. Huh. Wonder what's going on with my phone here. I don't know why it's not showing it. Oh, there it goes. Perfect. Yeah, what I'm trying to do is test my audio to make sure. What's been happening, I went back and listened to the VOD yesterday, and it sounds like my mic is peaking a little bit, and I want to try and fix that with some filters. Keeps off the hairs off my white bathroom tile. Keeps the kitchen clean. I mean, yeah, but I sweep. Let's try this. Let's go to filters. We'll lower the gain just a little bit. There we go. That'll work for the. Lower it to 20 below, drop 20 decibels. Hopefully that helps just a touch for the filter. And if y'all hear or want to say anything about my audio quality, I always really do appreciate that. My wheels never get clogged or dirty. I would reckon Jigga's probably don't, and Allie's yours would, because Allie, you have pets. And pets make keeping a place clean much, much harder. That's just, I mean, there's too many people, you know, or too many things. Yeah. It's decibels. Is that, because it's B-E-L, decibel? Am I saying that wrong? All right. You probably have no pets. No, I don't. Well, unless you count plushies, which, by the way, this is Ferdinand. For those of you who have missed out, this is the unofficial mascot of the show now. So this is Ferdinand the bull. So, you know, BullMuscle, right? It's a black Spanish fighting bull. Figured, there we go. You say you said it? I getcha. All right. 2 cats and 2 dogs, you have to clean it a couple times a week. It's not worth your time. Clean it when, you know, you have people coming over, but, you know, it's just it's not worth worrying about too much. Okay, so make sure I've got enough power here. Yeah, I need a little bit more time before I can do that. All right, so let's go ahead. It is Financial Fitness Friday. So what we can do now is we can start talking about the whole financial independence question. We can talk about stocks, talk about savings, investments, all of that jazz. So that's sort of one thing we can sit here and do that usually we do on Fridays. So for those of you who have questions or are new to the stream and have been wondering what that clock is in the top right, the top right corner, let me know. Do you like when guys, let's see, I'm surprised my $40 vac is still going facts. I have an old vacuum, I just never seem to use it for some reason. Do you like when guys have big butts? I don't mind it. It depends, right? If it's like a fucking lard ass, not really. But if it's like, you know, toned and muscular, yeah. So I would say it depends on the butt. You got to be more specific than that, because big can mean, you know, big hairy, sweaty swamp ass, a 300-pound dude. I'll pass on that. But hey, John Deeds, I appreciate the 10 bits. I didn't see that earlier. Oh, you're out? All right. Well, I appreciate you coming by. Always good to see you. See, like guys that look like you, not necessarily, don't have to look like me, but they do have to be in shape. And generally, the male physique to me is much more attractive when it's muscular and lean than it is when it's obese. I don't think that's a shocking revelation that someone who is in shape and takes keeping his body in good shape fairly seriously would also be attracted to people who are also in good shape. That probably isn't the most surprising thing to hear, I would have to imagine. Here we go. Let's check on stock market real quick. Dalty Walty, I am shocked. Shocked, I say. Well, not that shocked. It's a Futurama reference. All right, so let's see what we got on the markets today. Today, we have, looks like it's a fairly mixed day. Slightly green for the S&P, NASDAQ, and Dow Jones are all very slightly up. The stocks, individual stocks I own, are a bit of a mixed bag. Cool. All right. Jacob Man, you're doing Barbenheimer? Yeah, I've got I think the same goes for most people. It's not all that surprising. Yeah, I mean, look, physically, unless, I mean, it's to the point where if you are attracted to someone who's not in shape, either really skinny or really fat, it's almost seen as like a fetish or something, right? The whole point being that, you know, it's almost seen as normal to be attracted to people who are in good shape. And I'm not stupid. I don't kid myself. I know there's a portion of my audience that is in here just because I'm a reasonably, you know, lean. You can see my abs, basically. I've got good musculature, and you guys, you know, enjoy that. I want to see set in 70 millimeters IMAX. I have to settle for regular IMAX. I'm not traveling 3 hours to Pennsylvania for a movie. Yeah, fuck that. I actually got invited to go see Barbie and Oppenheimer today. I might. I don't know. It's all the way up in Augusta, and so what I was gonna go do was take care of my shopping earlier, and if I do that, see, I don't really feel like watching Barbie though. Like that, why would I want to see that? I have no interest in that movie. Oppenheimer I do have some interest in because of, well, I mean, think about what I do for a living. Robert Oppenheimer, for better or for worse, is a large reason of why I have my job. It's Barbie and Oppenheimer. I don't want to watch Barbie though. I have no interest in that movie. Oppenheimer to me is a lot more compelling again, but it's only compelling because of what I do for a living and because, well, partially I don't trust Hollywood to accurately portray the nuclear industry.
They've done quite a shambolic representation of the industry as far back as the 1970s. So I'm very loath to give Hollywood my money on that account. Barbie's gonna be fun. It's iconic, but it's silly and Murphy. That's true. You do look. Horny is not a reason I'm gonna go see a movie, especially it's fucking Barbie. Whispers Homer Simpson. Yeah. I do not have nice things to say about Matt Groening. I think Futurama is very funny, and The Simpsons it's an iconic television show. But Matt Groening, whether or not he realizes it, did a great damage to America's climate efforts by subtly portraying nuclear power very negatively in a very accessible TV show. And unfortunately, a lot of Americans believe nuclear energy produces green goo that makes fish have 3 eyes, which is fucking ridiculous that people actually believe that, but that's the reality we live in, and Matt Groening is responsible for that. His nuclear antipathy comes from the Trojan nuclear plant, which existed in the 60s and the 70s out in Oregon, and a lot of the Greens out there protested. And it's the same thing that's happened in Germany. The Greens, the anti-nuclear Greens there are fucking intellectually dishonest at best and openly malicious at worst. These are the people who shut down nuclear power plant in the name of environmental safety in favor of lighting up more coal-fired plants, which is insanity. Eternal Gambler, thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate it. All right. Did you watch Chernobyl? I did watch Chernobyl, and I did think it was mostly portrayed very well. I don't think they did the service of portraying ARS quite right, but otherwise I thought it was quite a good film. ARS doesn't like turn you into a fucking zombie. It doesn't make your skin peel off, but it makes everything underneath your skin rupture, basically. It basically gives you cancer of the everything, for lack of a better term. So you get multiple organ failure, and this is the really fucking scary part about ARS, which they did portray correctly. When you have ARS, and ARS, by the way, stands for acute radiation sickness. In other words, if you've been dosed with a huge amount of radiation like the Chernobyl fireworkers were, your blood vessels begin to rupture, which means you cannot administer painkillers. So you are going to sit there and feel all of your organs failing simultaneously. There is not a more painful way to die out there. Seriously, the acute radiation sickness is not something I would wish on anyone. But what I like about Chernobyl is that it accurately portrayed Chernobyl's real root problem, which was the Soviet system. It wasn't Chernobyl itself that was problematic. It was the culture and the society that designed it and ran it poorly and had secrets that included fatal flaws that the reactor operators never were told. Chernobyl, okay. I say this often and I will continue to say it because it really is true. Blaming Chernobyl for being against nuclear energy because of Chernobyl is a bit like being against automobiles because of the Moskvich. It's not the technology that was the problem, it's the society that used, developed, and, well, abused the technology. It was the USSR fucking up, frankly. The RBMK was a poor reactor designed to begin with, but it would have ran just fine had they not ignored the fatal flaws, had they not been, completely opaque with vital information that the reactor operators didn't know about, and had they not artificially created quotas, using the Soviet system to ensure tests were done prematurely and disregarding safety concerns. There's a reason Chernobyl has never happened in the West. And you're gonna sit here and say, oh boy, about 3 Mile Island. 3 Mile Island killed nobody and the reactor didn't fucking explode. There's a huge, huge difference here. In fact, if you look on it's the International Atomic Energy Agency, I think. That's the IAEA. They have a scale, a pyramid from 1 to 7 in terms of how bad a disaster is. Chernobyl and Fukushima, I believe, are the only 7s on there. and 3 Mile Island's a 5, and there's a huge difference between the two. Huge backlash in Germany happened after Fukushima. It's because the Germans are idiots, frankly. I love the Germans. I have actually German blood. My grandmother immigrated to the United States from Germany in 1949. But the Germans are absolutely fucking brain dead on nuclear power. They shut down several reactors in the last 10 years that had lots and lots of life left in them, and they switched to brown lignite coal, which is the dirtiest kind of coal, as an energy replacement, because this fucking energy venda, this idea that you can just magically replace nuclear with solar, wind, and unicorn farts. Newsflash, Germany is not a very sunny place. Germany's also not a very windy place. And think it's going to be all, sunshine and rainbows. It's not going to fucking work. And you can look at what German energy prices have done in the last 10 years. German energy prices are through the roof. Furthermore, to continue running the German economy, they've turned to importing Russian gas, which is why the Germans got absolutely screwed when Putin invaded Ukraine. They're fucking ridiculous. The Germans shot themselves in the foot. I'm sorry, there's no other way to characterize German nuclear policy than sheer boneheaded stupidity. It's idiocy. Fukushima was caused by, it was sort of caused by the tsunami, sort of caused by TEPCO refusing to listen to the Japanese and American regulatory suggestion of moving their backup diesel generators away from right below the seawall, which predictably knocked out the diesel generators when the earthquake, which was a magnitude 9, by the way, and the subsequent tsunami came inwards. Oh, and by the way, the number of people who died from radiation from Fukushima were less than a dozen. Meanwhile, thousands of people died from the earthquake and tsunami, and more people ended up dying because they were displaced from the Fukushima radiation zone, the exclusion zone, than from radiation itself, which is kind of crazy to think about. Yeah, no, I was actually strongly against nuclear power for most of my young life. It was one of the few ways to provide enough energy to avoid coal and natural gas. Talio, I understand. There's a lot of bad information out there about nuclear energy. And nuclear energy absolutely can be dangerous if you do it poorly, like the Soviets did. But again, I will point to that as a failure of communism, not as a failure of nuclear energy. Because communism is one of the dumbest systems we've ever come up with as a human race. Communism doesn't fucking work. And it won't until we reach a post-scarcity society, which we're not at with 8 billion people on this planet. I'm sorry, it's not gonna fucking happen in our lifetimes. Perhaps if y'all want that sort of Star Trek, what do they call it what do the terminally online people at Reddit call it? Fully automated luxury gay space communism or whatever? If you think we're gonna reach that within our lifetimes, you're smoking too much dope. Anyway, do we have enough energy now in the laptop to run the handstand push-ups? I think we do. For what it's worth, I actually live in one of the greenest, in terms of carbon emissions, electrical grid states in the United States. Here in the great state of South Carolina, we get almost 60% of our electricity from nuclear energy. We get another 20% from hydro dams. We do not run very much of our power off of gas. South Carolina doesn't do that for, we don't do that for environmental reasons. South Carolina is not a particularly progressive state. Why we do that is because we want cheap electricity, and we have it. South Carolina electrical rates are about 1/3 of what they are in California and about 1/4 of what they are in Germany. In fact, humanity is threatened with total control. You need to slow down events and means to control AI, determine all possible technologies for influencing the thinking and consciousness of people. I don't think AI is quite the demon people are making out to be. It could certainly have some negative knock-on effects for humanity, but I think AI is going to be a net benefit in the same way the internet has been a net benefit. Hey, Tali O, thank you very much for following. Okay, let's do some handstand push-ups, because that's what we're going to talk about next. With every technology, the last thing I'm going to say about AI, with every technology comes disruption. AI is going to be very disruptive to a lot of different industries, but at the same time, it is going to drastically increase productivity. So if you're an owner of capital and you're looking for investments, this could be huge. I mean, it could absolutely blow up what corporate profits are going to look like, what productivity, what GDP growth is going to look like. And if that ends up happening and you own capital, you're going to be doing very, very well. Moreover, you're going to be doing so well that perhaps you can take some of those excess returns and start investing them to help people transition into the AI age. Because whether or not you like AI, it is coming. Whether or not it's going to come in the next 10 years or in the next 50 years, we're going to have to learn to live with it. It is something of an inevitability, I think. The people who say, let's make a universal law to ensure AI never really gets developed, I think are living in la la land. I don't think that's going to happen. AI is going to take us closer to Star Trek. People want the future, but are afraid when it comes. I would say so. Again, I think the biggest trouble with AI is that we don't have a very good framework on how to use it yet. I think what AI is going to do is, again, it will have some successes and some failures. And AI isn't perfect right now, right? It's still very much in its infancy. So AI is going to make mistakes. AI is going to be suffering from the garbage in, garbage out axiom. You know, it's going to have some issues. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to handstand push-ups. Whoa. A little dizzy there. Oh. Yeah, as far as Oppenheimer in particular is concerned regarding movies, Oppenheimer was a bit of a softie. I don't necessarily think Truman was 100% right here, but the atomic bombs were necessary to drop. If you look at what Japanese culture was like in the 1940s, it was not, they were never going to surrender. The atomic bombs, as heinous as they were, as damaging as they were, ultimately, I believe, saved more lives, because to have ended the war in a reasonable manner would have required an invasion from the United States into Japan, which would have cost millions of lives, both civilian and military. And it would have probably required that the Soviets got involved too, which would have killed a bunch of Soviet lives. And certainly in 1945, the USSR had already shed more than its fair share of blood. So that was not... I do think the atomic bombs ultimately were the right decision to drop. And it's very easy to sit here and criticize Truman for making that call, but I do believe it was the correct one in hindsight. There is never a perfect decision to be made in war. It's only the best of a bad situation. That's almost the definition of war. Here we go, 2, 3, 4. But make no mistake, go look at the rape of Nanking. Go look at some of the atrocities committed in Southeast Asia, in the Philippines, by the Japanese Imperial Army in the 40s. It needed to be done. If you like what I do, you want to talk more about this, hey, come join the Discord. All right. Reset, reset. Oh. Holy moly. A little bit dizzy. Hey, FM, good to see you. Avoid awkward angles. Yeah. Just popping in for a sec to say hi. I don't have to run because my lunch break is ending. Have a great day. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thor's Children. Is that a reference to something? If that's a reference to the Marvel comic universe, I haven't really watched a lot of that. If it's a reference to the Nordic legend, I haven't really read a lot of that either. So, either way. Okay. We'll do our abs. We'll hit protein powder, and then we'll talk finances. Did we just hit? We did. We just hit 50 viewers. Okay. It means y'all have earned the stretch routine for today. Just fine. I can do that.
Abs first, though. Today is the 21st, so we will hit, we'll hit reps. So jackknives first. Yep. Come on. Now, I mentioned that in Oppenheimer, regarding Oppenheimer, you understand why he felt as though he had done a great evil, because in the late 40s, 50s, and 60s, there were many, many times we were this close to the end of the world. And in fact, we still are quite close today due to nuclear proliferation. Of course, the way to solve that is with sober, competent leadership. Like I would argue what the US and the USSR had through the 70s and the 80s as we started to create mutual pacts to limit arms. I think we should really continue trying to go at that past. Gee, man, do I ever call my chest? No. Why would I call it that? I'm male. These things are tits on a bull, so to speak. Why the hell would I do that? Dude, that's weird. That... If anyone has milkies, it's me, Allie. Well, all right, here we go. 2, 3. Technically, you still produce milk as a man, but it's only certain dietary conditions. Really? No way. I didn't think that was biologically possible. I thought that was a women-only thing. There's a whole documentary about a guy who breastfed. Huh. Well, you learn something new every day. I would think, yeah, your estrogen would have to be. Isn't that the hormone in women that... Huh. Biology is strange, man. That's some wild shit. No, I did not know that that was possible. Are you sure? Was it? Hold up. If it was a trans man, then that would make sense. But like, was it a biological male? Like, was it someone born male that actually did that? Here we go. Hey, Gamer Fit Plus, thank you very much. Technically, everyone starts a no. So it was a cis man. Interesting. Mechalore, does anyone know I can do exercise in boxes on Twitch, or is it against the rules? Dude, Twitch is completely fucking arbitrary. There is no clarity on what is and isn't allowed if you're a, I'm assuming if you're saying boxers that you're a dude. I wish I could help you on that one, but I've gotten whacked by the Twitch suspension hammer on kind of bullshit grounds before, so I can't help you here. I don't know. That's part of the problem with Twitch, frankly. Frankly, I hate to say this, but I think it really is dependent on what your anatomy is down there, like how well endowed you are. Excuse me. All right. Dude with a big chest, I call them milkers. I've never ever heard of someone saying that for a dude. I think I'll, thank you. I think I'll give Googling male lactation a miss at the present time. Let's do some Russian twists. All right. 20. Thank you for the follow. 30. 40. 50. 60. Twitch's thoughts on the speedo workout, funny. Mechalore, welcome on in. Gamer Fit Plus, thanks for first time chat. Thank you for the follow, Mechalore. Stick around. Gay boy, always good to see you. I haven't seen you in here in a hot minute. Always good to see you as well. Alright, we're gonna do a set of V's. When we're done abs, we'll get our protein on and we'll go from there. But yeah, I didn't realize male lactation was possible, so I learned something new every day, I suppose. That is, that's fascinating. 1, 2, 3, go. Come on. I don't think I can say that one on stream, Allie. Hopefully I need to be a cut for only 3 months. Yeah. So I definitely noticed that whenever I'm on a cut, I notice how much lower energy I am, and that sucks. So I believe we hit 50 viewers once, which means y'all have earned a stretch. So we'll do that. We got our protein. I'll do some push-ups too. You know, I'm gonna take a puffy. Da 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 da. All right. La Verdad por Delante 7 says, los españoles dominamos Twitch, nosotros aceptadio. Yo hablo un poco de español. Yo va a viajar a Puerto Rico en noviembre. Yo aprendo español
pero no estoy muy bien. That's the best I got. I actually am trying to learn Spanish because I'm going to Puerto Rico in a few months, but I'm not very good at it right now. Body was doing a lot with those 500 calories. You lose energy on long-term cuts. That's why having a maintenance week, I'd say every 6 weeks or so, is pretty decent. Christopher, good to see you. I believe what our first-time chatter is saying there is the Spanish speakers will dominate Twitch, not me. Accept it. Okay. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm doing this because it's fun. Onyx Otoksume, that was great Spanish. I'd like to think so, but it's not ideal. Chat, do you have a suggestion? Anyone know how to make muscles, know how to grow muscles under the chest? Well, the only muscle that exists under your chest is your heart, and that's gonna be a lot of cardio, that's gonna be a lot of jogging. If you mean talking about growing your pecs, right? Boom, boom, these guys, that's gonna be push-ups, that's gonna be bench press, chest flies, pullovers, right? Raider pulls. I'm a huge fan of the Raider pull. Incline, decline, those are all really good choices. And yeah, if you're looking for detailed information on how to get in good shape, highly recommend checking out my Discord. GamerFit Plus, thank you very much for putting it in chat. All right, I think I'm gonna do a little stretching, and then I'm gonna go hit my protein. So we're gonna do that. My Spanish is not great, but I'm trying. I am trying to get better at it. It's one thing I really think the US educational system should do better. Most European countries and most Asian countries learn to teach their kids at a young age to learn more than one language. Usually that second language is English, but I think here in the United States we should try to get better at it. Personally, I believe politically we have not been as good a neighbors as we should have been to our Latin American brethren south of us. That's not just Mexico, but Latin America as a whole, and we could do better there. And if we did better there, we'd have a much stronger alliance here on the Western Hemisphere. Thank you very much for the gift sub. Christopher is here. That's very kind to you. You're making fries? Well, Jigga, I will tell you that is, ooh. Oh man, my hamstrings are tight. Jigga, I'm gonna tell you right away, that is not the best food in terms of macros. Although you probably didn't need me to tell you that. You probably already knew, and you're willing to make that sacrifice. Because yes, French fries are delicious. Oh, right, you said it was high carb day. Well, French fries, because, I mean, unless you're roasting them in an oven, are going to be fried in oil. Be careful. Make sure you accurately represent how much fat they've got, too. Maybe you're air frying them. I hear that's a pretty good way to do it. Mine were organic with no oil, air fried. Okay, yeah, that's gonna be a lot better. Then, yeah, Jigga, it seems like based on the fact that you've had a professional, you've been working with him, you've been cutting before, and you know what you're doing. So I don't need to warn you about that. Like clearly you've got pretty good knowledge of what to do. That's a good thing. Let's do some splits. Oh, I can hear that creaking and popping. And switch to sumo. Oh, it's just cut potatoes. Yeah, that'll be high carb. But potatoes are good for you. Especially if you keep the skins on. There's lots of good nutrients in potato skins. Also, Also, potato skins taste amazing. BullMuscle dropping it low on a Friday morning. I'm trying. I want to get, I'm trying to get more flexible. I've slowly come to the realization that I need to actually give a shit about stretching, and I hate it, but it's important. I need to do it. I need to quit being such a baby. Strong like bull, flexible like frog. I don't know. Should do a couple push-ups, and then. Oh, well, Chris, I appreciate the support there. Thank you very much for the gift sub once again. I will say I don't normally do a whole lot of advertising as far as subs are concerned. They are always appreciated, but if you don't like giving half your money to Amazon, which is what happens, the content creator only gets half of a sub. If you spend $5 on a sub, the content creator gets $2.50. If you actually are interested in throwing a tip just because you like supporting the channel, that may be a better way to do it. Again, there's just aren't that many ads on this channel. The only thing you're really going to get out of it are emojis, which is fun, it's fun. But I'm just letting you know that is if you're the kind of person who likes gifting subs, just letting you know, giving you a full disclosure as to what's happening with the money you're donating. Twitch gets half of that. All right, let's do some push-ups. That'll do. That's 40. Thank you very much for the Lurk Gamer Fit. I will see you around later. All right. I think it is time to hit up protein shake now. Let's go get some protein on. Come with me to the kitchen. All right, Solace, good to see you too, as always. Move in here. Roommate did not clean up last night. Dinner. Kitchen's a mess. I need to clean it up. Oh well. All right. Let's get the protein shake on. Our ingredients. Creatine monohydrates. Need a scoop of this. Hyramade. No. Fam. 1. I live in a small southern town of 1,800 people. There are no maids here. 2. Part of my philosophy on this channel is DIY, right? This, if you hire maids to do basic chores for you, ain't gonna happen. So you gotta be willing to, take care of the mess yourself. And I'll do it after the stream's over. Ain't the end of the world. I'm not gonna die because the kitchen's a bit messy. One of these days I'm gonna watch a stream of working out. Every time this far I've been lying in bed. We get the fuck up and do. What you waiting on? Ain't nobody gonna make you go to the gym. You gotta choose to do it yourself. 2, 3, 4. And get the protein on. Wrong scoop. I have legs and abs tonight. That's good. I tend to do abs every day. And when I say I do abs, what you saw me do just a few minutes ago, that's it. That's all I do. But, you know, if anybody's saying, oh, you're doing too much, or you're doing not enough, that's my counter argument. I'll let my abs do the talking. A few ice cubes, get it nice and cool. Here we go. Shake, shake, shake. I'm going on a walk later, but I'm dying right now. Maybe cheeks tomorrow. Funny. You're looking all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That, I mean, it's a little bit harder to tell the crease between at the bottom of the sixer, but otherwise it's looking pretty good. I have to do that exercise every day, or my friends told me I should have days off from training. So on my rest days, I still train in the sense that I will go for a bike ride or a run, and I'll still do my abs and my push-ups. But no, you shouldn't be lifting 7 days a week. You need a rest day. It sucks, I know. I'd want to lift 7 days a week too, but if you're not, I'll put it this way. If you find you're capable of lifting 7 days a week, and like you're not super sore, you're probably not training hard enough in your workouts. Like your workouts aren't intense enough. If you can do 7 of them in a row and not see any negative effects of overtraining. I do 4 to 5 days a week. It really depends on the season. And then my rest days, usually, again, I'll lift, not on my rest days. I'll lift, and then on my rest days, it'll be cycling, swimming, walking, running, that sort of thing. In general, the rest day before a leg day will tend to be more walking. The rest day before a upper body day, maybe more running or cycling. Who to who? That doesn't sound like a rest day. Okay, so when I say running, like I'm not running fast. I'm not fucking running wind sprints. Walking is just good for your body in general, right? There are plenty of really strong lifters out there, and it's actually in the book I've been reading. I'll show you guys this book. The book I've been reading here, Arnold Schwarzenegger actually talks about this, right? There are loads and loads of power lifters who are incredibly, impressively strong on a first, couple of reps workout, but they don't have much endurance, and a little bit of cardio will help you with that. Also, I like playing sports. So one thing I'll do on my rest days, on Tuesdays, is go and play Ultimate Frisbee. You could argue that maybe I should rest a little bit more, be a little bit less intense on my rest days, but life is short, right? Hello, tabbed you while I walk home. Cool, good to see you, Hava Titi. Who to who? Welcome to the bullpen. Thanks for the first time chat. There are limits. I wouldn't say go run half a marathon, for instance, right before a leg day. That's probably a bad idea. But, a light jog, a bike ride, going for a walk ain't gonna kill you. So, I got a little bit more stretching to do, but I also gotta. True. It's always interesting to know other people's routines. I think it's a question of balance, right? So my workouts are also fairly long, especially when I'm live on stream because I'm talking to you guys, and because when I'm talking to you guys, I need a greater volume of oxygen in my lungs to allow myself the ability to do both. As a result, it's good for me to train my cardio so that way I'm not exhausted just trying to both talk to you guys and do my lifting streams. So there is some other reasons for me to do it, but I can talk about it here. This is, see here. Right in here. This is again Arnold's Bodybuilding for Men, although this certainly applies to women and non-binary people as well. Here we go. Just gotta get, I forget where it is in here. It's talking about cardiovascular training. I remember it was saying in here. Here we go. Aerobic conditioning. Aerobic conditioning is, I can't seem to find it right now. Shoot. Oh, here we go, here we go. Things have changed a lot since the time I started bodybuilding. It is now difficult to find a weightlifter or bodybuilder who doesn't do some kind of endurance or aerobic training. And many endurance athletes, particularly swimmers, include a lot of strength training in their workouts. It is working. The totally fit athlete is not only healthier, but he has an edge over his competitors as well. I have always followed this principle in my own training. Having been a competitive swimmer and soccer player before I became a bodybuilder, I knew what being in shape really means. So I included lots of running and stretching movements in my workouts along with progressive resistance weight training. Total fitness, as I see it, has three components: aerobic conditioning, flexibility, and muscular conditioning. I'm guilty of neglecting flexibility for sure, and I will continue doing some stretching out. But look, you can argue, yeah, Arnold juiced when he was in the bodybuilding years and when he was a movie star, but like go and look at him and still you can figure out, it doesn't take long to figure out this guy's clearly eating right and he's clearly exercising right. There's a lot to be learned from a guy like Arnold. So I also just have I have a lot of respect for Arnold because he's one of these guys that's gone out, set goals for himself, and he fucking accomplishes it. Well, okay, so Mechalor, nobody's routine is necessarily right or wrong. There is no one way to get in good shape. There are some general guidelines that are universal, you know, proper form, giving yourself enough downtime, proper intensity, things of that nature. But in general, what matters a lot more than how you train is that you train in the first place. Morning, Kareem. I'm doing all right. Let's go and we'll do a little bit more stretching out. We'll do some more push-ups. But yeah, I think I've been reading through this book. I'm really interested in it. I'm also found a book in the library I'm probably gonna pick up. If I'm agree with you, smart words. I found a book in the library I'm probably going to pick up called Confessions of a Recovering Engineer, How to Build a Strong Town. It's by the Strong Towns founder, Charles Marone. I really like his stuff. There's a new craze right now that's going to be kind of a nascent development in politics. It's the idea of smart growth or urbanism or new urbanism. The idea that we've perhaps built our cities to be overly car dependent, and that's both bad for the environment and bad for humanity. And I don't find the arguments in favor of environmentalism or in favor of inequality quite as appealing because those are frankly primarily left-wing arguments, and I'm no left-winger. However, intelligently designed, compact, dense, walkable urban cities are far more financially efficient than sprawling out, suburban-laden, single-family home-dominated metropolitan aggregations. You can't even call them cities half the time. So for the urbanists out there, if there are any urbanists watching this channel that are perhaps a bit more progressive in their politics, if you're left wing, you have other allies out there, but you have to understand what the best argument to convince people is. If you go with the environmentalists' argument, you're going to attract a lot of environmentalists to your cause, and that's all fine and good. But if you're going out to someone who is a fiscal conservative and you want to convince them, you have to speak their language. You have to say, hey, you know, the suburban sprawl per acre makes our cities poorer. It means our government has to spend more on highways and street repairs because that's all we use is cars. And it's far less efficient than if we had better public transit, bike paths, so on and so forth. So that was just that's the mindset of Strong Towns in particular. Strong Towns is a fiscally conservative urbanist movement, I would say. I'm a big fan of that. Again, I'm a fan of self-reliance. I'm a fan of capitalism. I'm not a conservative. I'm actually a centrist, but economically, I'd say I skew a little bit more to the right, and so. But that doesn't necessarily mean I'm at odds with every economic left-winger or progressive out there. There's a lot of common ground we can get to, but the challenge is finding that common ground and learning to speak the other one's language. And I do have some progressive views, and I actually used to be quite a bit more left-wing than I currently am. So I think I understand how to talk to more left-wing sort of people than a lot of others. Anyway. Guys, anyone know, is there others way to boost my testosterone production in my body? There are certain foods that boost testosterone. Frankly, unless you've gone to the doctor and the doctor's told you you have low testosterone, I wouldn't worry about it. You don't need, I would say, unless you've got a medical condition that you've talked about with your doctor, don't worry about testosterone. I don't in general, and I don't think it's necessary. I would say what's far more important than testosterone is working out regularly and intensely enough, and eating right and getting enough sleep. You do those three, your testosterone will be just fine. What food? Okay, so I can talk about that. This here is my notebook. What we've got up and down the page here is a list of, among other things, I do my workouts in here, but everything I eat, everything that goes into my body goes in this in this notebook. So what you just saw here, that protein shake I was drinking, was 460 calories. Now, I know that because I've written it down so many times that it's just secondhand nature to know that. The more you write it down, the more you keep track, the easier it is to remember. This had 66 grams of protein, 9 grams of fat, 25 grams of carbs. In general, Mechalor, it really depends on if you are bulking or cutting what specific foods, but I would say a good mix of lots of vegetables. Get lots of vegetables in your diet. Pick one that you like, honestly. There is no unhealthy vegetable out there unless you battered and deep fried it. You can, seriously, from asparagus to zucchini, you can get anyone you'd like. They're all pretty good for you. Some are better than others. There are what's called the superfoods out there, but really any vegetable's a good one. I would say fruit, get some fruit. Go for fruit over fruit juice because then you get the fiber, it'll make you feel fuller, and you'll eat a much more reasonable amount. That feels good. Roll out my neck a little bit. I'm a huge fan of dairy. People say there's a lot of it. I think there's a little bit too much hate on dairy right now, but in general, I find that dairy's got lots of good protein, and if you're bulking, there's nothing better than dairy. It's got a good combination of protein, fat, and carbs. You can put a lot of it down Well, okay. This does kind of depend on your ethnic and genetic makeup. In general, white people, I am white if you couldn't tell, are more equipped to handle milk than Asians, blacks, cultures that historically did not grow up using as much dairy. But if you find that you can tolerate dairy, I strongly recommend it. Milk is very good for you. If you're bulking, drink lots of milk. Milk makes you strong. Meat in general, you can get in really good shape if you're vegetarian or even vegan. It's just a lot more difficult. You can do it. It's just, for me, I find that I'd rather eat meat. Judge me for that if you wish to. It's your right. But I will eat, chicken, pork, beef, anything like that. Unless you're an albino, I'm shocked you're white. What percentage I need protein, carbs, and so far? Okay, so Meckel, what you're gonna wanna do is go to my Discord, go to the diet section and read the pinned messages, okay? If you want me to tell you, if you want me to craft a basic diet plan for you, I gotta know how tall you are, what weight you currently are, and what weight you wanna get to, right? What I'm gonna tell you to do if you're bulking and trying to gain weight in the form primarily of muscle mass versus if you're cutting and you're trying to lose fat, two very different things. So you can't just ask me what should I eat. I'm going to give you generic, a generic question gets generic advice. Absolutely. I'd recommend posting in there. I'll help you out there as well. In the meantime, I need to do a little bit more stretching out, so we're going to do some of that. Yeah, there's a limit. So this is why I'm a huge fan of the Discord, right? So I can sort of talk through all these sorts of different things in chat. Oh, I forgot to change the scene over. Let's go. Boom. Much better. Let me know if the audio is any better or worse, by the way, chat. In general, you know what's good for you. Green veggies, right? Eat lots of those. Beans, eat lots of those. Carbs, have some. Meat, have some. Dairy, I personally lean a little bit heavier on dairy than most, but if it suits you, have some. Fats, oils, and sweets, have less of. Anything ultra processed, maybe stay away from. It's pretty basic advice on that. It's your advice, of course. No, it's good to see you, Mechalor. It's just, right, if you want an idea, right, there's a reason, it's the same reason when you see the little percentages on the nutrition facts of any food you eat, especially if you live here in the United States, that nutrition facts block. Well, I have percentages listed. That percentage is of a 2,000 calorie diet. A 2,000 calorie diet may be too high for some people and too low for others. For me, 2,000 calories is too low because look I'm a big guy. I'm 6'3", I'm 210 pounds. Jiga says, I met a big booty Brazilian male fitness streamer last week. You'd love him. Oh, okay. Good to know. Awesome. Not really sure what to do with that. Yeah, 2,000 calories, but like if you're, let's say you're, 5'4" and you're female, 2,000 calories may be too high for you if you're not particularly active. I can give you, just to give you an example. In general, it really does depend, right? If you're more active, you will burn more calories and hence you'll need more to stay at equilibrium. If you are taller, you tend to use more calories. If you're younger, you tend to use more calories. If you are lifting weights, you tend to use more calories. If you are bigger, you tend to use more calories. So one of the nice things is if you're 300 pounds, your body actually burns quite a few more calories than someone who's 200 pounds. Provided that you up your calorie burning levels just by doing some walking and then stop eating as much or stop eating as poorly, you'll find that losing weight, if you're really heavy, if you're really overweight, can actually be fairly easy if you make the right decisions. It is a lot easier to lose fat if you're 40% body fat than if you're 15% body fat. The only difference is it seems easier at the 15% level because you've already mentally trained yourself to get to that point. What I find is for the people who are a lot more out of shape, if you are obese, the battle's up here. If you are already in shape, the battle's still up here, but you've got a lot less room for error. James Lee, welcome on in. Was gonna say Myron Gaines just saw the A&M flag. That's right, class of 17, baby. Hey, I am dreading this football season, I should mention. I wish Jimbo would shut the fuck up. Thank you very much for the follow, though. Actually, you're not the only Longhorn who showed up. I've had several of them show up on this channel. I know I'm supposed to hate y'all, but I got too many friends who are Longhorns to where, I don't know. I feel like whenever we start playing in football again, the hatred will grow back as it should, but like it's kind of gotten a bit mellow over the years. Where do I live? So I used to live in Texas. I've since moved to the great state of South Carolina, so I'm on the opposite end of the SEC. And I do quite like it here. You actually just missed our poll day. I was doing that earlier. I was doing rows. I'll even show off the lats a little bit here. Still trying to get good with that. I was doing rows, I was doing biceps, I was doing them traps. So, as far as college football is concerned, I will be an Aggie until the day I die. Okay. There are people who say Texas A&M is a cult. Those people are 100% correct. We are. I've yet to hear why that's a bad thing. No, I do adore A&M. I just wish Jimbo would shut the hell up, really. That's my biggest complaint right now. I wish the university would stop growing quite as obscenely as it has, and I wish Jimbo would shut the hell up. Also, I wish we hadn't hired Bobby fucking Petrino, but that's a different story. When I toured A&M, everyone said howdy. You better believe I say howdy. Damn right we do. Absolutely. Howdy is the way you get people's attention. That's how you start class. The professors will, the class all kind of comes in and, it's about time to start. The professor will say howdy, and that's how you know the lecture has begun. It's perfect. It's a great system. Damn right we fucking say howdy. Shit. Better believe I got a fucking well, it's not a Stetson back there, but I do have a cowboy hat if that's what you're thinking. But that's part of the culture. It's A&M is, okay, I can put this way. What Texas is to the United States, A&M is to Texas in a lot of ways. Like, we play into it a little bit. We play into the stereotype, and what's wrong with that? In general, the stereotype of the Texan is one of, a strong, polite, friendly individual who helps people out, goes out of his way, is very proud of where he comes from, and wishes to improve the society he lives in. That ain't a bad thing. The problem I have, mostly with people from that orange school, frankly, is you guys have ceded your city to all the goddamn Californians who keep moving in. What the hell happened? Austin used to be so cool 10 years ago, now it's a shithole. It's a cut rate Los Angeles these days. What'd y'all do? It's awful. Man, I'm not blind to see there are some upsides to Austin, but man, it's expensive, it's crime-ridden, the homeless problem has gotten really bad. There's no decent transit. I-35 chokes the city through the heart of it. Like, it's just, ugh. Itchy nurse, you always look amazing. Your manly hot chest is pure bliss. Well, if you'd like more, I was actually about to do a set of push-ups, so why not? We'll push. Now, honestly, these days, as much as I'm supposed to hate that Orange University, I more hate the city that exists around it. Austin's a dump, man. I do not like Austin. Austin used to be a lot more fun than it is. 40. Austin in 5 years will be like San Francisco. God, I hope not. San Francisco's got, well, no, see, that's not even, at least, okay, you know what? At least with San Francisco, you have great weather. You have a really cool eclectic scene around there. And you've got a lot of dynamism. You do have a lot of new ways of thinking out there. I don't see that in Austin. I see a lot more mirrors of Los Angeles in Austin than I do San Francisco. You can say, yeah, there's the tech scene out there, but Austin weather is awful. Yeah, so College Station, I will grant, is no better on that one. College Station's slightly cooler, but it's a lot more humid, so. Now, Austin's growing too fast for its own good, and the zoning of Austin is shockingly bad. The transit in Austin is shockingly bad. Like, really, okay, if you want to live in a big Texas city and experience it, there are two good options, and the rest kind of suck. It's Fort Worth and San Antonio. Dallas is too corporate, Houston's too polluted, and Austin's a fucking basket case. El Paso is barely Texas. El Paso is really nice, but you gotta accept that you're closer to Los Angeles than you are to Houston. Binge Bear, thank you very much. The first time chat. Crazy Keith, welcome back. You live 30 miles east of LA. You work in LA, and I'm pretty sure you spend half your life in traffic, if that's the case. Austin's barely Texas. That's my point. And James, I know I'm talking mad shit about your city, but you came into an A&M fans chat and expected otherwise. Like, come on. No, Austin used to be a lot better than it currently is. Austin has made some mistakes developing, and they're coming to bite the city in the ass. Anyway, let's go ahead and wash out our protein cup. There's still residue left in there, and we don't waste on this channel. Crazy Keith, yeah, bless your heart if you live in around Los Angeles these days. That city's fucked. You know, here's the thing about Los Angeles. It's fucked up. What pisses me off about Los Angeles is that LA has the potential to be the greatest city in the world by a country mile, and LA has routinely underperformed that expectation. LA is, okay, terrific weather. It's flat. You've got miles and miles of some of the best beaches in the world. You've got a massive port. You've got loads and loads of culture in tons of different neighborhoods. And yet, because Los Angeles has become completely car dependent, because Los Angeles ripped up its streetcar system in the 30s and 40s, which, by the way, was the greatest streetcar system the world had ever seen to that point. Los Angeles has shot itself in the foot so many times. It's just, the city could be so much better. Because Los Angeles has a lot of NIMBYs who refuse to densify single-family home neighborhoods, Los Angeles has become unaffordable. The taxes are insane because you have to support all that highway infrastructure somehow. The cost of, again, we talk about cost of living is insane. What that means is there's a huge homeless problem and nobody cycles anywhere. And that's the one that bothers me the most. In Los Angeles, the city probably more obsessed with vanity and image and being in good shape and looking like this than any other fucking city on earth. Tinseltown, for God's sake. Nobody rides a bike. What the fuck? Really? You're gonna sit here and tell me, I mean, LA should be a biker's paradise, right? It should make Amsterdam cry in its sleep over how good it is to bike. And yet, no. What's going on there, LA? Come on. I know California's just not run correctly. I mean, there are parts of the state I really like. The Central Valley, hey, shout out to the farmers out there growing my fruits and vegetables, man. As someone who, you know, has spent a large chunk of his life in Texas, shitting on California is fun, but hey, the Central Valley is where it's at. The parks in California, Shasta, Yosemite, Mammoth, you name it, they're incredible. Joshua Tree, awesome. Even the San Gabriel, the mountains around LA, gorgeous. And South Catalina Island. it's just, the reason I'm so hard on LA in particular is because there's so much potential that's wasted there. It has the potential to truly be paradise, man. LA could be so much better, and it isn't, and that pisses me off. Hi, Hanson, boop your nose. All right, there you go. By the way, there is a new, this was requested in the ideas and feedback channel on my Discord. Someone wanted the mascot of the channel to boot the camera, so you guys can redeem that as a points reward. This is Ferdinand the Bull. I'm BullMuscle, so this works pretty well as a little, it's the mascot. We got a mascot now. So, we'll leave him right there. By the way, when you stand away like that, your mic isn't peaking. Okay, so trigger bell, I also added a couple filters to my mic, and on top of that, I'm not using the same mic that I was yesterday. I use my laptop on days where I'm in the gym, and I use my tower computer on days where I'm not. So what that tells me is I need to screw with the settings some more. Trigger bell, if you hop in my Discord at some point, I would love to hear a little bit of feedback from you on how to fine tune my mic, because that does piss me off. I value making this as high a quality stream as I can, so if y'all have notes about my audio or ways I should tweak it, please let me know. That's a huge deal. Okay. Anyway, I was doing some stretching a while back, and I should continue to do so. Let's see, cool down. We'll do. We already did touching the toes. Yeah, I'll do a sitting hamstrings. I have a sensitive ear, so I can notice small neck pack. That would be super helpful, actually. If you've got notes, if there's something I should be changing right now, by all means, let me know. All right, we're gonna do some sit and stretches. Bring this out a bit and move the book down here. Oh. But yeah, when it comes to LA, again, it's a city that could be okay. I can give you the best example of what I mean by why LA has the potential to be paradise on earth, and it just is nowhere close to living up to that potential. 4 years ago, I actually went out to Los Angeles for a job interview. The job interview was over the valley in Van Nuys. And, you know, the valley's a huge chunk of, you know, LA's economy, yet it is entirely disconnected, right, from much of downtown and western Los Angeles via any rail. However, if you look at the 405 freeway that goes up and over Sepulveda Pass, it's what, 10 lanes wide? It's insane. You're telling me that the city has the resources to build a highway like that and it can't build a train? What the fuck? You can't build just one tunnel? No, that's ridiculous. What that is insanity. Another example, but you know, I enjoyed that so much. So I enjoyed the interview was fucking awful. It was an 8-hour interview and they didn't feed me like at all. It was dumb as hell. If you're gonna bring me out for an interview like that, fucking give me some decent lunch. I mean, come on. Moreover, but you know, the interview didn't work out. I didn't get the job, and frankly, I didn't want the job. But after that, I met some friends who lived, I think it was Inglewood, somewhere in like southwest of the downtown. It was out, not quite at like Redondo, but you know, went out that way. And we went down to the beach for dinner that night. For dinner and just kind of walking along the beach at sunset and watching the sunset on those beaches along, I think it's Manhattan, Redondo, and there's one other there. It's one of the most beautiful sights I've ever seen. It's just fantastic. So there's a lot of potential there, and it's just not being used correctly. But if you are an Angelino, you should take that as a challenge, not as a diss. I see just how great that city could be. All right, I'll do a stretch. Ooh. Yeah, I am not very flexible, if you couldn't tell.
I'm strong like bull and flexible like steel girder. Straighten that back. Trying the best I can here, shit. All right, look. God, that hamstrings are so fucking tight. I hate stretching so much. I fucking hate stretching. This is awful. What other ones am I supposed to do? All right, I can do that one. You look like my dad. Well, welcome back to chat. I hope that's a good thing. Fucking hate stretching so much. I'm showing you on camera the right method of stream for flexibility. All right. Well, shoot, throw it in the fitness section in my Discord. Let's do quadricep stretch. Oh, hold up. Use the wall to help straighten your back if it is curving too much if you want. Okay, we'll give that a shot. I hate stretching so much. I really do just detest this. This is awful. Liminal, it is stretch day. What's the region you're stretching so much? I'm trying to incorporate stretch routines, right? Very clearly, a weak spot in my game is flexibility. And so what I've decided to do is every time we hit 50 viewers, I'm trying to go through a little stretch routine, trying to improve my stretching a little bit. So that's why we're doing this. It is Financial Fitness Friday, by the way, so we will talk about investing in the markets pretty shortly here. All right, so keep the lower back on the wall. See, if I'm touching my toes, how the fuck am I supposed to keep the, whatever. Jesus Christ, that's tight. I really fucking hate stretching so much. Last Shadow 14, thank you very much for the follow. I'm trying it sitting. Oh, I hate this. That's what she said. Thank you, that's helpful. Thanks, Twitch. Thanks, audience, as always. Super helpful. That'll do for today. I'm gonna stretch my upper body out now. Fuck this, man. If you can hold a dumbbell, you can bring you down more if you're standing. It's not a bad idea, actually. I might give that a shot after the stream. That's a pretty good idea, Trigger Bell. Oh.
Let's try not to hit the fan, that would be bad. Use lightweight since you're not flexible. Yeah, I could have figured that out. Stretch out the forearms. Other hand. If I started doing stretches, that's kind of hurt, but it feels better after a while. See, no, it never feels better. It just makes me feel like shit. I hate stretching. How long have I streamed for and when did your overall fitness journey began? Oh, I started lifting weights long before I started streaming. First time chat, thank you very much. Phil MC, welcome on in. Welcome to the bullpen. Is that your abdominal muscles or your rib cage, by the way? Okay, so try and explain this. So it's easier if I kind of flex them. There we go. All right, so my rib cage ends right about here. So these are ab muscles on top of my rib cage. This is abs, right? So 2, 4, 6. I started lifting in 2008 when I was 13 years old. I'm now 28. I've made lots and lots of mistakes along the way, so don't think it took 15 years to get this. You could probably get this starting from a relatively untrained body in 2 to 4 years, I would think. Jake Thorny, Jake Finney, sorry. Welcome back. I haven't seen you in a little while. Thank you very much for the 500 bits. I do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Sir, that is my pillow to nap on. Oh, we're the same age. Yep. Liminal. So you can actually see, if I go kind of expand my rib cage, you can sort of see the ribs right here. It's washing out. Hang on. It's still washing out. There we go. You can sort of see some of the ribs right here. I've got enough muscle in my frame to where it's kind of hard to see them, unless you got really, really good lighting. I appreciate it, Jake. That matters. It's very much appreciated. I never ask for tipping, or bits or anything like that. You can use ! tip if you ever desire to. But it's the same reason I run the minimum amount of ads Twitch allows me to on here. I run 30 seconds an hour. I can't make it any lower. The reason I do that is because I'm not in this for the money. I do these streams because I like helping people. I like giving advice, and it motivates me to do better as well. So it's a positive feedback loop we have going on here. We've got 9 here. Nice. So we've got, today is Financial Fitness Friday, by the way. We've got, let's see here. Let's see what the stock market's up to. Looks like it's trending pretty flat, slightly green. Not much change in any of the positions I hold. Couple things up, couple things down. Nothing too crazy. Don't joke about. I think he means 9. I think liminal means lifting for 9 years instead of that he's 9. I don't think that's what he meant. I think liminal saying he's been lifting for 9 years. At least I hope that's what is intended there. That's how I'm taking it. Use common sense, guys. So as far as financial fitness is concerned, I'll go ahead and, we've got enough people who have been new. Although I've been lifting for 0 years, I gotcha. As far as the financial fitness section of the stream, so let's talk about that. What you guys see down here is it says financially independent, I'm free in 649 days. For those of you who are new, this is the financial aspect of my channel that I like to talk about. The whole point of what I do here is that I want to prove to people that this is possible. I graduated with a reasonable but not exceptional degree from a reasonable but not, for mechanical engineering, we're pretty good at A&M, but I got a good salary for my qualifications. You could argue I'm actually underpaid, but I will be able to retire if I so choose to. That's financially independent before I turn 30 years old. I've been working at that since I graduated college, and right now I'm over 75% of the way there. This has been something that's taken a lot of effort, and it's taken a lot of optimization financially to pull off. But it is something I'm going to be able to do, and it's possible. I think anybody else could have taken the path that I took and achieved the same results. Much in the same way that I believe, right? So I'm natty, right? I, as a function of my day job, cannot take steroids anyway. In the same fashion, I have not had any, crazy luck in the stock market. I've not had any huge windfalls. I've never made 6 figures in a year, but I still will be able to retire before I turn 30, if I wish to. And the reason I was able to do that is because I've optimized my spending. And this is probably the one thing, especially here in the United States, if any of my audience, y'all are American, this is something the average American is terrible about. The average American saves 6% of their income. That's goddamn pathetic. If you guys want to know the actual numbers on mine, just feel free, you can ask. You can save a lot more than that if you have any semblance of financial discipline. What's the reason steroids aren't allowed in the nuclear industry? Is it just drugs in general? Yeah, it's just drugs in general. Steroids, I think, are particular because the nature of working with radioactive material means you do not want anybody to be in any altered state of mind. And steroids, I think the old-fashioned thinking, this isn't necessarily the case with all steroids, is that you'd have someone on roid rage and, causing problems in the workplace like that. The simple answer is that the nuclear industry is old-fashioned and very, very slow to change anything. Do you want to retire? Maybe. It's looking like I probably would. There are many paths forward in my life when I get to the point of financial independence. Some that require a full retirement, some that maybe would mean I'd switch to part-time, or some that allow me to keep working my full-time job. It depends on how I'm feeling at that point. What I really want, Jathan, is the ability to retire. I want power in the sense that I want to achieve the level of fuck you, right? Your boss pisses you off, fuck you. You don't like your job anymore, fuck you, I'm out. That's the goal, right? That's what I want. I want it's financial independence is ultimately the ability to say fuck you to anyone you don't like. Southern Yellow Jacket, thank you very much for the gift sub. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. But that's what financial independence gives you. It gives you that power to not be fucked with at a corporate level. A liberal with a nuclear bomb is very scary, so maybe that's for the best. I mean, I know plenty of progressives at my workplace. I know quite a few more conservatives because I do live in rural South Carolina, but your political views don't matter when it comes to taking safety and security precautions within the nuclear industry seriously. For what it's worth, politically speaking, for those of you who are interested, I'm mostly a centrist. Regarding the financial independence push, it's been slow form optimization. So when I graduated college, right, I started off with an apartment that was a little bit expensive. As I grew in my first job, I started meeting people, started talking to people that, were looking at getting mortgages on houses, but, they had an extra guest room, and I'm like, hey, you want me to come stay with you? I'll pay you rent. You can afford your mortgage, and I get cheap rent out of it. I did that several times, and then I ended up buying a house here. I chose a house deliberately that was a affordable, that was in a smaller town, because I did not want to be what's called house poor, which is you do have a high net worth, but the vast majority of your assets is tied up in your home. As a result, I found an affordable house, and affordable housing in the United States still does exist. You just have to look for it. It's not easy to find. I don't know what I am. I don't really care. Just not an idiot. You're a little bit expensive. I don't know what you mean by that. Don't know these terms. So I don't know what a centrist is. Okay, a centrist. A centrist is someone who, generally speaking politically, is neither far to the left nor far to the right. Another term for a centrist is a moderate. And that would probably, in most instances, accurately portray what my politics are. In general, I'm not too far to the right, not too far to the left. There are some issues where I feel more strongly on one issue or another. For instance, nuclear energy, I'm very much in favor of it. Given what I do for a living, this should not surprise you. Issues that I'm perhaps a bit more conservative on, I do believe very strongly in gun rights. I believe that the right to bear arms shall not be infringed. It's very, very simple. The Second Amendment is very clear, and I believe we should, honor and respect it. Issues I'm more to the left on, or a couple other that I'm on the right on. In general, I'm a little bit more in favor of free markets and in favor of capitalism. I believe capitalism is a big part of why the American experiment has been so successful. Issues I'm a bit further to the left on. Climate change is a serious issue, needs to be taken seriously. We need to drastically cut our carbon emissions. While I'm not convinced that a heavy-handed government method is the way to do that, there's only one political party of the two major ones in the United States that takes climate change seriously right now, and that would be the Democrats, for instance. I believe that, in general, we have seen a rise in inequality that we need to address with improvements to American social mobility. I believe that there are serious inequities in opportunity that need to be addressed, and a lot of them are based on the historical racism that has existed in this country. I'm not unaware of that fact. Things like, why are a lot of educational systems, and I'm not talking college here, I'm talking elementary through high school, K through 12, why are a lot of educational outcomes worse for poor neighborhoods than they are for rich neighborhoods? And you can break that down racially as well. That's a problem that needs to be fixed and dealt with properly. A large part of it is because educational system in the United States is founded by property taxes, right? It's mostly funded by property taxes. So if you've got areas with high property taxes or high revenue or high value homes that have a much higher property tax, the schools have a lot more money to work with. They can hire better teachers, get better resources, and better accommodate their students. There's got to be a way to balance that out somehow, as an example. Buff and smart, I like you. I appreciate that, Phil. If you like what I do, hit that follow button and make sure to tell your friends. One thing I'm really trying to do is, grow the community here. I've been thinking about, follower goals. There's actually an active poll in my Discord about what kind of goals you'd like to see me do. I could do like a getting over it stream, could do, going and eating a whole Costco chicken in one setting. I could do, some sort of hit challenge. You name it. I've even thought about, I could shave my mustache live here on Twitch. You guys name it. If you guys want to see me do it, I'm looking for ideas like that as follower goals. I'd like to hit. Right now, I think we're on the track to hit 2,000 by the end of the year. I'd like to be well above that. I think that'd be pretty cool. What would be really great long run, and this, speaking of what would I do when I'm financially independent, where my Twitch channel is at in 650 days is going to be a big part of that. What do I mean? Well, at the current growth rates I've seen in July so far, we've had a blockbuster month in terms of increased viewership, increased follower numbers, and increased chatters. Well, what does that mean? What it means is that if those trends continue for months and months, I should have a large enough base to consider, maybe hitting a partner. if that happens, maybe I should look at, if I go financially independent, retiring and becoming a full-time Twitch streamer. So lifting 4 or 5 days a week and streaming all of those lifts, as an example. I could do all sorts of stuff like that. The mustache stream is 30 seconds. Well, I mean, we do more than that. I mean, right? Look, I get it's a shitty, kind of 70s porno stash. I get that. Hey, GGR TV, good to see you back in here. Bikini wax on stream. Guys. Jigga, man, you're freaking horny today, man. You're gonna say shit that gets me kicked off of Twitch. Don't do that. I think the mustache and the hair are an odd combination. I like both, but I'm unsure of the two together. Yeah, I don't know. I've got two feelings about that. That's how it works. Dig the porn session needs different hair. I gotcha. Well, again, if you guys have got thoughts for follower goals, please come hang out my Discord and let me know. We have an ideas and feedback channel. The problem is that I've got over 1,600 followers at this point. Most of the votes that I put in as polls for my audience, I get like 10 people participating. There's a big disconnect there. So I've got lots of followers, but I'm not getting much feedback from those followers, which means I don't know what I can do to improve my streams to keep people coming back and help grow. And that's something, again, because I'm not really chasing the dollar here, right? This being able to retire before I'm 30 has nothing to do with the stream. I barely even count what I make from this because it's peanuts in my budget. This is a function of my day job and, more importantly, my spending. I keep my spending very restrained. As a result, I'm able to save a very large portion of my paycheck. If you're curious about the actual numbers, I'd be happy to tell you. And that's the big part of what my success has been. Got some idle followers. Well, just lurkers in general. I'm assuming it's ETFs. Trust your direction. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I know I'm doing great, but that's an arrogant thing to say. I know I'm doing better than I was, but I never want to stop looking for ways to improve. I view that in the same way that I view my lifting, right? If I get a tip from someone, hey, if you do X and Y, you'll see a little bit more pump on your biceps, for instance. I'm going to give that shit a try, especially if I'm getting told that from someone who's successful, who's got really good biceps, for instance. The same thing applies to Twitch. If I get people who, spend a lot of time on Twitch telling me, hey, do X and Y and it'll help improve the quality of your stream, I want to do that. So like tips more? Oh, well, if you wanted to tip me in that way, there you go. But when I was talking about tip, I was more talking about like hints, helpful ideas. But if you do feel like, tipping me as a thank you, but by all means, it's never expected, but it's always appreciated. You have leg day for gym going tonight? Kick ass, Trigger. I bet you're gonna do great. We do keep it. My fan base, my audience does tend to keep it zesty in here. That's all right. Again, really, the only rule is don't break Twitch terms of service. And I think based on the fact that I've been very good about putting the explicit labels up on my content here, I feel like we can talk about that. This is an 18+ chat. This is an 18+ stream. So we should be able to have adult topics and conversations. I mean, hell, that's what we're doing now with, the financial independence. We're talking about investing. We're talking about finance. Like those are things those are adult topics. So I think it's fine. Let's do one more check of the markets and then favorite squats and leg press. Squats are the king of the exercises. It's the best workout you can do. Hey, thank you very much for the tip, Jake Finney. Thank you very much. $12 for the 12th man. Woo! Thank you. I do appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. All right, so let's see here. Let's hit up the markets and look a little bit more. What we got here? Yeah, it's still staying flat. I don't think there are any immediate moves I need to do today. I've got a couple calls that are gonna expire today. Looks like one will expire in the money, one will expire out of the money. So that's pretty good. Seriously, Jake, thank you very much for the tip. I do appreciate that. Thank you.
Again, it's never expected, but it's always I'm very grateful. Thank you. Isn't Cole Runnings cute? Haven't you seen him, BullMuscle? Yes. Cole Runnings he looks pretty good. I'd say so. Am I allowed to talk about other Twitch streamers that way? I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. I'll tell you, ignoring looks for a moment, because I think his body's fantastic too. But guys I have a shit ton of respect for, and I'm actually gonna give a shout out here because Acro, he's on a partner push right now. I think he's gonna get it. His numbers are up there. I think if you somehow found my community without knowing about him, he's in great shape. He's done bodybuilding competition before. He's got a really great family. I wish nothing but the best. I want to see this guy do great things as a partner. And I don't think there's anyone on the Twitch fitness and health community that deserves it more than he does right now, frankly. I think Acro is absolutely, to me, he's a bit of a role model. I like watching his streams because I look at what he does and I'm like, I can learn this, and this from it. Actually, I'll tell you what, a lot of the stuff I've been doing to try and, improve my lats, try and show them off a little bit, it's kind of hard too. But a lot of what I've been trying to do to try and, bring out my lats a little bit more, Acro's taught me, and I have noticed it's small, but it is an improvement. But yeah, Acro is just absolutely fantastic. So if you somehow have found this channel and you don't know who Acro is, go give him a follow and watch his stuff. It's really good. If you like my stuff, you're gonna love his. I think there was something I was gonna do earlier. So I did notice this morning I weighed in a lot heavier than I was expecting. I want to see if I've got any increases in measurements to explain that, because I don't think, I mean, it's not gut fat. I look about the same as I did last week. You heard of Train with Bruno? I haven't. Fiziko, good to see you. What's up? The workout's done. We had already done pull day. It's actually past noon at this point. I'm probably gonna get ready to raid here. Let's do our measurements real quick before we do that. So today, come on. Today was a pull day, so I'm expecting the bicep number should be pretty good here. There we go. It's right at the peak. Well, yeah, look at that. 16 and a half. It's a little bit better. It was 16 last time. Did you talk about Bruno? I actually don't know who Bruno is. Let's try the other one. Jake, you're out. Hey, thank you so much for the tip, man. I appreciate that immensely. Hope you have a great one. If you're working out, let your gains be plentiful and well-earned. Yeah, my left bi is a little bit more like 16 and a quarter. All right, so I'm gonna write that down actually. Let's do chest. Doing burpees a bunch. Oh, burpees are good. I hate burpees, but they are very good for you. We have to hook you up with Train with Bruno. He's an amazing Brazilian streamer based out of LA. New channel, but he deserves promo. Yeah, Jigga, come talk to me on my Discord about that. All right, chest here. It's about 42. Bring it in a bit more. Just a tick under 42 and a half. This is 42 and 3/8. So that's sort of the tape. You can hold it with your mouth. Just subtract the two numbers it's connecting. 42 and 1/4. It's easier this way, I think. So this should do waist.
top of the hip bone. That's about the same, 34 dead. Do thighs. We go about midway up. It's about 25, and the left will be similar. I'm not gonna bother. It's not bad. Is that just your pump? Hey, Chalupa Cabras, thank you very much for the follow. I do appreciate that. Welcome on in. I think that's really all I got for today. So if you guys have any questions, be it about fitness, diet, finances, the future, you know, what's going on with the channel, anything like that, speak now or forever hold your peace. Otherwise, I think we're gonna go raid someone. I should speak with about my schedule. Tomorrow I will be live at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to do leg day, so if y'all like squats, tune in for that one. It's going to be pretty good. Hey, Atypical X, thank you very much for the follow as well. Got a few followers here at the end. That's awesome. I love getting new followers. It makes me very happy. So if y'all have any questions, now's the time to ask. Otherwise, I think we're going to look to raid someone. See who we got live right now. Got, what day do you hate the most? Mondays aren't that bad. I don't know if I have one, honestly. I like my week. Honestly, my work days aren't terrible. It's probably Tuesday. Tuesdays always feel like they drag on. I think that's probably it. Got work tomorrow, gonna miss it. Ah, that stinks. All right, so let's see what we've got for other streamers. Oh wow, we've got Limitless Fitness, we've got Supernatural Rider, we've got W. Ramir, we've got Crash Override. Whew, that is pretty good in terms of who to pick from. I think Limitless is probably gonna be where we go and hit. I think that's it for this one. So we're gonna go ahead and raid, I think. So the raid message, okay. You hate them all? Well, that sounds like, that's not all that fun. Life should be good, man. Find ways to like your days. Sundays, a recharge day, Sabbath, holy Christian day where I go to church. Respect. By the way, stick around for the raid, y'all, because if you do, you end up getting channel points. You can redeem them and make me do all sorts of stupid shit. All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna raid Limitless Fitness today. Make sure I've got the name, Limitless Fitness. Keep the Sabbath day holy. Respect, respect. All right, so we're gonna raid Limitless. So I wanna say thank you to Atypical Lex, Chalupa Cabra, Slash Shot, James Leap, Michalor, GamerFit Plus, Talio, Eternal Gambler, Spencer, Clipslock, and Justin and the Blocksmaster. Thank you all very much for the follows. Y'all make good decisions. Those good decisions form your habits. Those habits form your values. Those values forms an ethos that can be the cornerstone to building a great edifice of your success in the future. Much love. Come in for the hug. There we go. All right. Hey, YouTube. Thanks for watching this production. If you guys have got comments, I always do look at them. It may take me a little while to respond, but I always do appreciate it. Much love.